Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. What's paradigm?
What
How do we
exists?
get
What's
knowledge?
more?
Okay, subhanallah.
How do we get knowledge? What exists? How do we get knowledge?
What is right now? Yes.
How did you know that?
Because you told him. Anyways. Okay, what's modernism, mister?
Modernism. Modernism is basically that ideas of reality, knowledge, and morality, freedom of speech, harm principle, and science.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I wish you remembered it and then read it. Okay, alhamdulillah. All right. And you were for the atheism class, right?
Yeah,
What,
I have not.
what is atheism?
Atheism is the belief that there is no God.
Yeah. What are some of the arguments atheists have? Name one.
So that
Or you
No, I was asking a question. Atheists basically have no rules of like moral rules and stuff, right? They just like whatever.
Yeah, so that comes after the disbelief. So first part is disbelief in God, and then everything else
Yeah.
that comes after. Yeah.
one of their arguments is that like they say that if there's thousands of gods that you don't believe into, I'm you, but I just don't believe in the one that you believe in.
Yeah. And how would you respond to that?
Yeah,
Come on, bro. An atheist comes to you. You're not gonna have your notebook.
we are all vegan. It's just that they don't eat meat or something.
Okay. How is that an argument, man? That's just an
What was the,
example.
what was the thing you said?
So basically, so that they will say that we all disbelieve in so many gods. Like you disbelieve in Jesus as God, and you disbelieve in Buddha as God. You disbelieve in all the Hindu gods. So you disbelieve in so many gods, and you just believe in one God. So you see, I disbelieve in all the gods, right? So I'm just like one step ahead of you. The same thing. Got it? So how do you respond to that?
Say that. I remember it had something to do with like we are
Yeah, so that's just an example. A vegan could just say that, oh, we're all vegans. See, you don't eat all meat products. Do you eat like, goat testicle or something? That's a meat product.
I'll give you a very simple one. We're all polygamist. We just marry 3 wives more.
Yeah, so you can just twist this argument into anything. Like vegans will say, we're all vegans. See, you don't eat all the meat products. You just eat some, right? So we just go a few products more, right, that we don't eat. So you can twist this argument. It's a meaningless argument, and that's why it doesn't mean anything, right? Because how does it tell whether someone's right or wrong? It's basically just throwing up a statement up there that doesn't mean anything, right? So that's the response. All right, I talked about. Oh yeah, also talked about. So I messed up on the board last time. I was supposed to write modernism and then split it into 2, but I instead of paradigm. So I'll write again. So modernism, and we split into 2. And you weren't here for that one. Right? Did you watch the video?
Yeah, skip through some parts.
That means you didn't watch the video. All right. Right, so this is modernism, can kind of be split into 2 parts. One is scientism and one is progressivism. Scientism is basically one of the atheist arguments I told you about. It's the belief that nothing but science leads to truth, and progressivism is we're always getting better. Now, if you want to know the response to those, go back to my video and watch it. It's there.
Yeah, I think of one.
Okay.
Scientism is like basically they say that scientism is the truth, but sometimes it gets updated. So basically, we'll never reach the truth. For progressivism, is that if we keep getting better, then that means we're doing bad or something. Actually, I forgot that part. I was watching
Okay,
your
so
video.
scientism was self-refuting, right? So if somebody says that science is the only way to truth, statement itself is not a scientific one. So that's why it just refutes itself. It's like saying I saw a tall, thin man. It doesn't mean it's like you're refuting the statement itself, or this statement is a lie.
Yeah, what I just said is a lie.
Yeah, and then progressivism, it's like we're always getting better. Things are always getting better, and things are always changing. So if things are always changing and getting better, then why is the concept of things getting better not changing as well? Because that can change too. And then, so that's basically it. But watch the video if you don't remember. Okay. And then I talked about feminism, and I gave a definition for it. Anyone remember that one?
Like going for like being equal with men, basically, or equal rights.
Yeah. So basically, political, social, and economic equality with men. Men are of the genders now. All the genders, right? So, and then I talked about first, second, and third wave. Start that again.
First wave?
Huh?
First wave, they were actually striving for equality, right?
Was that?
So they were actually striving for
Second
equality.
wave.
Like what kind of equality?
Just, like equal pay and women want to vote.
Just vote. That's all they really cared about. As for pay and stuff, that came in the second wave. So just voting, right? And then this one was more what basically is the definition of standard feminism, which is political, social, and economic. So women can become presidents too. Women, like a wife is equal to her husband, for example. It's the same. And economically, so let's say, as a dad dies, how much should a son get? How much should a daughter get? It should be equal. So everything is equal. So this is like more like total equality. And then third wave is more like
They want more. They want more. They don't want us.
yeah. So basically, the idea is the genders are basically I'll explain it more. Basically, it's like how do I put this in a short way? Basically, they don't believe in genders. They don't believe that genders are something that's natural. It's something that's assigned by human beings, and therefore they're not real. So anyone can claim to be anything. So we care about all women, including any man who claims to be like trans women, right? So so that's they don't believe. That's why they don't believe in genders, traditional genders. Now,
There's an easy way of making money nowadays. Pretend to be a woman, enter their sports, beat them all.
yeah. I mean, some people do that. Some people do that. It's profitable. But anyways, so again, so I don't want to talk about the first wave too much. This one is like whatever, because I mean, voting in general, that's something that Islamically is already problematic. So for us, like the question that should women be allowed to vote, it's a non-question because we don't believe in the democracy system anyway. So who cares if they're allowed to vote or not? It doesn't matter. Men should be allowed to vote, neither should women. And that's basically our answer to that problem. So it doesn't matter to us, right? So here's where the issue started in the total equality. So basically, one of the things that second wave feminists questioned is gender roles. So for example, maybe you guys had twice when you were growing up.
Did you forget the arrow?
Which arrow? Oh, you want me to put in that arrow? I'll just write it like this. This is that. So basically, you guys had toys when you were growing up, I'm sure. And those toys were probably like some manly toys, you used to play with.
I have both unicorns, man.
Oh man, you ruined my examples.
Like 10 minutes, so we got it.
Oh, we have 10 minutes left? Oh man. Okay. Basically, so when you're growing up, especially like boys and stuff, they have like certain toys. For example, they'll be given action figures, maybe fire trucks, or something like that, right? It's what we consider traditionally boy toys, right? Toys for boys. But then for women, they'll be given maybe like dolls, like houses, maybe tea sets, etc., etc. So again, what feminists would say of the second thing, say this is a gender role. This is not something that's natural. It's something that's been forced upon the boy and the girl, right? These things. So like the parents gave him the toy, the parents gave him the blue clothes, the parents told him to be manly. So these are gender roles. That's what they would believe, right? So that's what second wave said, right? You see any issue with that, or is that okay?
Every day we stay further from God.
It's a bit mean.
Yeah.
So that's true, man. That's actually true, even though it's a meme, it's actually true. So, do you see an issue with that?
Yes.
What's the problem, man?
Gender
You don't
role.
believe in equality, huh?
Huh?
No.
No.
I don't either. Okay.
You know how they're doing the birth parties, right? Like if the powder is blue, it's a boy. If the powder is red,
Is it pink?
No, you
It's
mean
pink.
pink.
Yeah, not red. So this is another thing they'll say, right? See, blue and pink. See, these are because it was
Those are
forced.
different.
It's forced upon the boys and forced upon the girls to like pink and like blue. Right? That's what they'll say. It's a gender role. It's not real.
But
It's
some
something that
girls
people
like
force upon.
pink and some girls like blue. So.
Yeah. But I'm just talking about what feminists would say. They would say all this are gender roles being forced upon the kids. So, anyways, do you see a problem with this? This line of thinking that gender roles, like men do certain things and women do certain things. This is all like fake. Basically that's what they're saying.
We're just built that way, men are like.
But what's your evidence? Maybe that's what everyone's trying to make you think.
Oh, my evidence. The joke I made earlier about easy way to get money is pretend to be a woman, go on the sports. People are already doing that. They're just gonna identify
Yeah.
a woman, and they're doing it. It's on news and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad argument. So basically what you're saying is that if you get rid of gender roles, then basically you go into a lot of confusion and stuff. That's okay, but look, man, you're a Muslim. What did I teach you about paradigm? What did I teach you about paradigm?
It's morally right and wrong.
What are the other two
mean
things
what's
in
right
paradigm?
and wrong, not more.
What exists and how we get our knowledge.
Okay, so why aren't you using our paradigm to get rid of this? It's
Modernism,
very easy.
scientism, and
So what exists is that how men we're built different. Like, really,
What's
that's
your
what
evidence?
exists. And you could see men outclass women in sports. Easy. That's a no-brainer.
But see, again, you're not using your paradigm.
Paradigm.
What's your paradigm? See, this is why you have to pay attention. You can't just-
Islamically, what exists?
Islamically, how do you get your knowledge?
We get it from the Quran and Hadith.
Okay, so can you give me something from there that just gets rid of this very easily?
Men go to war, women don't.
Okay. In the Quran, for example, it says الرجال قوامون على النساء, that men are the ones responsible for women. It talks about different things, different gender roles in the Quran. Basically, that's the whole point. And for us, that's how this gets kind of destroyed. Yes.
Modernism is kind of like how the modern.
Modernism, it's basically the beliefs and people have because after 1600s Europe, so they have different beliefs. So for example, a belief that men and women are equal.
It kind of means like how modern you are.
Yeah, I mean modernists. That's what they're happy about. We're so modern. We're so in the times. Yeah. But, okay, so one of the problems that you brought up, right? So now here's what the third way would say. They would say that not just gender roles they don't exist, genders don't exist, right? So they'll just say genders don't exist, right? This is something that is made up, right? So just like people made up like, oh, boys should wear blue, girls should wear pink. Even the concept that you're a boy and then some female is a girl, this is all made up too. Right? This is what they'll say, and that's why it doesn't matter if some man says I'm a girl or girl says I'm a boy. It doesn't matter. It's all fine as long as they believe in it. It's okay. Right? You see a problem with that? Is that okay?
Who even made boys, girls, and all that?
Right. So that's exactly what they're
Who
questioning.
made boys and girls?
But I'll tell you who made boys and girls. Right. But first, answer my question. Is there a problem with this?
Genders don't exist.
Yeah. Is there a problem? I mean, it's fine, right? It's everyone's opinion, right? Huh?
There has to be a problem.
Right. It's their opinion. What's the issue?
Like, why can't a guy just wear hijab and walk around?
Blue is a boy color and pink is a.
No, that's not what he's saying. Last time I checked, it was Adam and Eve, right? There's a man and a woman.
Yeah. But like they'll just say those are just stories. Who cares?
Yeah, like Adam and Eve, Adam and Steve.
Oh, God.
So what's the problem with throwing away genders altogether? Not even gender roles anymore.
Oh, God. Explain to us.
Come on, bro. You have to think too.
Yeah, that one was a hard one.
Seriously?
You just give the answer before the sports thing you were
All
talking
my
about.
answers are violent. I know they're not true.
As long as they're approved by Islam, it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, see, like you don't have. So one of the basic things in any society is a family, and Allah Subhanahu wa Taala talks about families in the Quran. Now, families and tribes need to exist. How can a family exist without a mother and a father? Right? What is a mother? A mother is a female. and what is the father of male, right? So if you don't have that, that leads to crumbling of society. So nowadays, you might have families, supposedly, with two guys as mother and mother, or sorry, father and father, or two women as mother and mother, or sometimes they have families of even larger, so they'll have three mothers and two fathers, or something, some nonsense like that. So again, when you don't have that proper structure of family, you're not raising the children properly. That's going to lead to a lot of issues in society, a lot of destruction and harm. So that's one thing. But also, if they say that genders don't exist, this is an important point, right? So if they say genders don't exist, what is the point of feminism in the first place? Wasn't the whole point of feminism equality of the genders, right? But if you're saying genders don't even exist, right? Then what's the point of feminism? Feminism kind of just defeats itself right there, So yeah. So that's basically how much time do you have left, by the way?
I think
5 minutes left. Okay. I'll just talk about some of the things that both second and third wave feminists talk about. So one thing they'll say is, "My God." Oh yeah, you asked a question. I like the question. You're like, who made boys and girls? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made boys and girls. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that He made two genders. He made men and He made women. And that's it. You don't have a third one. You don't have a fourth one.
But nobody made color. Like,
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made colors too.
Yeah.
That's in the Quran as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made colors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made everything.
Colors are not really assigned to gender.
No, like,
Huh?
no.
Colors, like,
Oh, you mean assigned to gender, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Allah Alam if that's cultural or not, but in general, like boys like blue
Yeah.
and girls like pink. But that doesn't matter, right?
but that's just a random example.
Yeah,
The
that's
main
an
thing is, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created like roles and responsibilities for different genders. Like mothers have certain things, fathers have certain things to do. Men have to do certain, women have to do certain things. So you cannot go against that. That would be true.
Of course you know this one, man. You use it all the time, man. Yeah, so this is something a feminist will say. They'll say something, this is called body autonomy, right? That means I own my body, right?
But like this is,
I don't need to follow the laws and say the letters.
Yeah, so basically, for example, if they want to commit zina or they want to abort their baby or something like that.
Like say that, oh, you can't control me because this is my body.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll just make these sorts of arguments. That it's my body. Why can't I just do whatever I want with it? What's your problem? Why are you?
Why do you have to make the KKK?
Yeah. So
Why do you have
basically,
to make
no, but KKK harms people. I'm not harming anyone. Okay, so this is the kind of argument they'll
A baby is not
So-
a human being, so
yeah,
I can abort it.
so my body, my choice, right? So this is what we'll say. It's my body, so it's my choice, right? And sometimes, unfortunately, some Muslims who claim to be feminists also use this argument, right? So if they're not wearing a hijab, or something, and you say, oh, you should wear the hijab, sister. Like, no, my body, my choice. How dare you? So what's the problem with
And
this?
then she gets her own shoe.
Huh?
Okay, let me finish the class, man. Okay, so what's the problem with this?
It's not really their body because they didn't create themselves, right? They were created.
Yeah, I want them to think. All right, so that's okay. Okay, what's the problem?
If it's their body, right? If everyone goes by this rule, right? Can't they just kill people and say that, oh,
No.
it's my choice. I want to kill them, right?
Yeah,
It's my body, my choice. I
you love
throw them
violent
in my
examples, man.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Killing comes to you first. Yeah, so the thing is, they'll say that we're not harming anyone. See, if I'm not wearing a hijab, I'm not harming anyone.
Right.
Harming
This
yourself.
is my body, my choice.
Yeah, so I'm harming myself. What's your problem?
Or my choice.
Or I can identify whatever I
Go back to
right?
what's the paradigm. Use that to answer this.
And the Quran,
So we have what exists. How do you get knowledge, right? So what exists? Right. Yeah, go ahead.
We have
like from the Quran,
we have rules.
it said that,
Yeah,
it
it's
said
not.
that we're supposed to guard our eyes. We're supposed to clean, like have our body clean, like not touch anything
Yeah,
bad.
we have to lower our gaze, all these things.
What is this part of exists?
But how come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can tell us to do these things?
So overall, you want to be next to like a clean person. And
No, but how come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can tell us to do these things? That's all I'm asking.
Because He's our owner. He
Yeah,
made us.
exactly. So it's not my body anymore, right?
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is owning your body. It's not your body. It's us. It's not your body. It's not your choice. That's it. You know, yes, subhanallah.
But he's telling us what to do about making the Quran.
Was that sorry?
You know how he made the Quran, right?
Yeah, he it's his word. So he spoke the Quran. Yes.
And that's how he's telling.
Yeah. No, but my question was like, how come Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the right to tell us what to do? And that's because He owns us, right? He owns our body. He owns everything we have. He owns us, right? So even the charity we give, the money we give, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, what's in Surah Al-Baqarah, first few verses? Yeah, third one.
الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون.
وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. From what we gave to them, they spend. So even when you give to charity, it's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who provided you with the money so that you can give the charity. So everything you have, including your body, but also your clothes and your wealth and your house, everything is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why you can't ever have this autonomy thing, because they have like this thing like, oh, I own my body, I own my house, I own this, I own that. No, you don't own it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to you. So that's a very simple
If
way.
it's an apartment and you're in your own house, you don't say that you own it. The people
Yeah, then you're renting the apartment.
who
Yeah, that's a different thing. You're renting the apartment, yeah. So,
I think your time is basically up.
okay.
I think we only have two.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say let them digest this.
Yeah.
How much time?
I think that's it. I'll just send it. You have any questions? I'll answer. Otherwise, I'll end it.
What would you say that to?
Yeah, one at a time. Yeah.
No, nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What would you say to anonymous? Because the answer we just said, like using our paradigm, was mostly to Muslim feminists, right?
Yeah.
What would you say to like anonymous feminists?
I mean, a non-Muslim, I would say, why do you believe in the concept of you owning your body? Where did that concept come from? And then you have to take that conversation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, look, this is what makes sense. This is how you can make sense of the world. If you just have this weird concept of rights, this and that, and people will come up with whatever, you know. Some guy can just say, I'm a woman, go into your bathroom and do whatever they want with you, beat you up or whatever, worse than that, you know. So
Or you just blindly follow whatever society is. Like for Americans, the best example is like, okay, well, you follow whatever the government says, or society says. Okay, so Nazis were good people. Like if you put that like
Yeah.
that works on them directly.
Yeah, but like just the concept of where are you getting your
No.
ideas from, right and wrong, from where are you getting it from, right? So once you just push on that a little bit, then they'll understand why you're saying
Like-
that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who owns it.
Because here's the
no
thing.
women tell men to go throw the garbage out, otherwise they'll just hit them with their They can blast.
Stalha, you understand differently objective and subjective, right? Okay.
So a subjective is, let's say you go into an ice cream shop and you say my favorite ice cream is chocolate ice cream. So that's your subjective
It's
opinion. But
a
if you
choice.
say-
You just have an
but
opinion.
if you
Nobody
say-
has to
But
follow.
if you say ice cream is a dessert, that's subjective. But that doesn't matter, right? So it doesn't matter who says it. Ice cream is a dessert. So
Like
that's different than
like when you say
subjective.
my body, my choice, or like genders are equal, you cannot. If you say like in my opinion, genders are equal, then nobody has to follow your opinion, right? So all of these are just opinions. So that's the part you have
But
to
if you
push.
say
right?
no, it is real, then you have to say, okay, what's your evidence? You know, what is
Yeah.
it based on?
Yeah.
So they have to bring that forward. you know?
Unless it's real or unless it's objective, nobody has to listen. It's like your opinion. You can do whatever you want, but it's like we don't have to listen to you. Like you can. Is your opinion the gender's equal? But like we don't have to
Our
follow.
opinion is objective, so we can do whatever we want to do. So- okay.
Okay.